Alright guys, so here I am, all set up now finally, and we're going to start painting this bad boy here. And a couple things I have to fix first before we begin. The coins in particular, excuse me, what I want to do is I want the coins to be sort of fresh on the top, like they've been in circulation for a little while, and then on the bottom I want them to be oxidized and very old and weathered and waterlogged. So what I need to do is actually gather up all the coins that are going to be on one half and put them in two separate locations here. I think I've found some locations that I like, and I can squeeze them into the sheet here, no problem. I will have to do a export of the UVs when I'm all done. So what I think I'm going to do first is actually select all this. Let's move these guys down just a little bit so that I have a little bit more room in here. This will be one coin right here and one coin right here. So let's go ahead and gather those up. Let me just check on the stream to make sure it's going for you guys. I think it is. As far as I can tell, it's going. So good. Make sure everybody's happy and everybody's enjoying themselves. Okay. Just send a quick message. Okay, there we are. All right, looks good. All right, so I will leave that up so that I can check on, we're gonna be looking a lot of stuff up. We're gonna be doing all this live, so this is the complete process from not having started any painting all the way through painting and working on, well, as far as we get, not necessarily finishing. And, we'll look things up as we need to look things up. Pardon me. All right. So I think that the coins that are here, I think they'll be okay. Check my message. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So what I'm going to do is the coins that are here, I think I'm going to leave those as the clean coins. I'm going to go for the dirty coins up in these corners. So I'm going to flip this upside down, and I'm just going to select every coin. One stuck in the sand there, because there's fewer of them down here as well, so that might be a little bit easier. We'll select all of these. There we go. Now, the problem is that one of those coins is this one. We don't want this to move. So I'm going to have to look at which one that is. Okay, we'll replace that coin. No problem. All right, and I'm going to select all of the faces. But that same coin. What are you? Undo you. Where are you at? You must be one of the original coins. Okay. Oh, and it's one of the original. Darn. Okay. Let's find out where that coin's at. He is indeed that coin in there. Now what this means is that, two different ones. Oh, that's unfortunate. So these two coins we're going to have to replace. So that's all that means at the moment. So, oh well. But I can't touch those coins for now. So that coin and this coin. So those two guys, but these guys are okay. Sorry for all the clicking, that's my mouse for you. And those guys are okay. Perfect. Got all of those. Oh no, this one too. Where are you at? That third coin in there. Okay, let's not touch any of the coins in there. We'll refill the cup in a moment, but I need these UVs to stay where they are. So, there we go. None of them are selected. Perfect. We'll select all that, and you'll notice that they are scattered all over the place. And this is going to be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to move all this over here. Oops. No. Come on. Move all that over there. We're going to start, nope, that was the inverse of what I wanted to do. We're going to start to kind of bring all these guys together because we're going to have to recombine them, so it's okay though. We'll get there. There we go. A little bit of poor planning at the front of this, so now it's forcing us to have to redo a little bit, but I want to make sure we do it right. So let's do that. Let's do that. So I keep them all selected, I move them as a group, and I unselect the ones when they get to kind of where I want them to be. So I want them all to sort of group up here. So that one's good. He's good. Now it's just down to this guy. I'll move him up here. Okay. So all of these represent all of our coins on the bottom, less the few in here that we need to reattach. And what this means now is that these are both the tops and the bottoms of these coins. So now we have to figure out which ones are tops, which ones are bottoms, separate those. So let's start with that. Whoops. Come on now. So top, 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 and I guess you'll be the top for that coin. Okay, so these are all our tops of the coins. So again, I'm going to leave him. Oops, I'm going to leave him there and move all these others very close to it. We're actually going to overlay them all, and then we're going to separate them for normal map purposes. There we go. That means these are the bottoms, so I'm just going to bring these together. And the edges are all completely the same, so that's fine. Okay, now let's count. We have 6, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So something's wrong there. So that's the top of a coin that is at the top of a coin that shares a bottom. What are you? Nope. Ah, that's a top and a bottom in the wrong place. There we go. There we go. Okay, so these are all bottoms. So I select those, you notice we don't see any tops. And if I select all these, we only see tops. Okay, perfect. So that's all set. Now we have those, and all of these guys are going to go together, of course. So we'll just kind of bring them over a little bit. What we need to do is recombine these, move them into position, and then we're going to separate them again. I know it sounds sort of like, but you just put them together. But we're going to separate them with a particular purpose, because when you have two things overlapped and you apply a normal map to it, it gets confused on one side or the other, which is why you see all these things are offset. They're offset by exactly one UV space, so that way it just repeats the texture instead of trying to put the same texture on two sides. So that's a lot better. All right, there we go. Let me move this so I can actually see the chat. Okay, excellent. Now that all these are together, let's combine them. So I'm going to go to vertices, and I have my full selection and grid snap. It's actually vertex snap, so I can snap all these together. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. So those are the tops, these are the bottoms. Also, I hope that you guys are enjoying the new music I have playing. This is some music from my friend Chris, who is a music designer as well as a 3D artist, and he volunteered some music. So thank you very much, Chris. And I'm going to be working with Chris to create some more music, some different music for different moods. So we'll have some a variety for you guys to listen to while you watch. These are okay. All right, great. So let's grab all this, move it back over to the world here. So what we want now is the tops of the dirty coins are going to go up here. See, there's just enough room for them to fit next to the fish. So that's fine by me, right there. Perfect. And here's the bottoms of the dirty coins. Those are going to go just below the fish here. And then these guys are our edges. Oh, no. Are these the edges of the dirty coins? They are. Whoops. Confirm that. Yes. So these are the edges of our dirty coins. So I'm going to put the edges of the dirty coins right next to the edges of the good coins. So it'll be easy to find. There we go. Okay, so now everything's all packed into this space nicely. We still need to separate these. And I think we found out we have 7 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we've got 3 more in here that we wanted to do also. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to close this, collapse all, yes. I'm going to take one of these coins that is relatively flat, like this guy, and I'm going to make a duplicate of him. Now I'm going to clone this to an object, so it's a separate object, but you'll notice when I do an unwrap on this guy, he's exactly where we put all the other coins. So that's one of the things that gets saved with the unwrap information. So that's what we want, because now I'm going to go here and I'm going to select these 3 coins that we were unable to mess with earlier because they were a mixture of clean and dirty. And I'm going to detach them. There we go. Select that and this new coin. Let's isolate those. And for each of these coins, select all the faces on it and detach it as an individual object. I do need to center the pivot on these guys. There we are. And let's detach that. Perfect. Now each of these I can do the same operation at the same time. Center pivot. There we go. So I'm going to use this guy here, center his pivot as well. I'm going to make a copy of him, bring him over. And the goal here is to align him with these and say also take on the axis, which he doesn't seem to be wanting to do. So let's figure out why. You're an object, you're an object. And I know it's because we have the pivots are off, but when I tell it not to use the pivot, it's still trying to use the pivot, which is really annoying. Okay, well if he's centered to him, then we should be able to do this by hand. Let's just put him in place. That's pretty good. Let's rotate him around a little bit until he's. That's pretty spot on right there. And a little bit more. We'll average that out. Okay, good. Select the other, delete. And now just to double check, if we take this guy and unwrap him, yep, he's in the right place. Perfect. All right. Now you can do the same thing for your friend here. It's kind of frustrating that they don't want to even try to. They're not interested in trying at all. Let's delete you. Yep. Oops. No. You can name these things. That's what I accidentally did right there. Was I chose a name instead of a right click on. Alright, there we are. So as I'm working, guys, this is going to take a long time here. So as I'm working, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to stop what I'm doing and help people learn. So do not be afraid to ask. Okay. Oops, we have multiple copies of everything here. I think this is the one we're working with, platform 02. Yeah. This is an older copy where I was trying to figure out my UVs, how much I could get. Alright, let's take a look at those coins now. They are not actually attached to our object yet, so we have a little bit of play. But I think they look pretty good in there. When you get to this kind of angle, you'll see the coins in there. So that's the point, so sounds good to me. Okay, that is much better. So let's go back to our unwrap and take a look. So now they're all in place. Sounds good, and we could move them a little bit if we wanted to. I think I will move them actually. So let's select everything. Why is it not letting me do a selection set? There we go. Just not showing my selection set. Hold on, what happened? We're missing a, oh, we're missing quite a bit here. I'm missing my other coins. My clean coins are completely off. Oh, because I deleted them. Okay, okay. I know what I did and I know how to fix it. I have to take one of these coins and just move them back into place. To find one of the other coins, like this guy. Looking down one. Because there has to be one coin on the actual sheet. You can't just have it repeating off the sheet because then you'll never see it. So there we go. Not so bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead here is I'm going to put the tops here. I'll leave those in place. And there's some, I thought there was some room here because that was missing. That's okay. We're going to move stuff around a little bit. And the bottom's there. Leave that in place. And we'll just shift these around a little bit. So, no. Sorry, I keep changing my mind. We don't really want to move that because those are all already set. You know, they've already been pushed. So we're gonna put this here. So the bottom of the coin goes there. The top of the coin goes here. Just a little bit more space than right here. It was touching the edges. It was really, really close. So, because we haven't shifted these out yet, we can put them wherever we want. Okay, so that's good. So now we're gonna start shifting everything out. And let me just check on comments or anything. Yeah, it's a little strange time of the day, but this is the time I have at the moment, so I wanted to make sure that I could share this with you guys. All right, so I'll go back to that and go back to this. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and start shifting these out, and I'll show you how that works. It's pretty simple with Max's tools, which is really nice. So we're gonna, yep, we're on selection, perfect. So I'm just going to select this guy, and then U, I'm going to say 1. Now I only selected one copy of the face there, so I'm only selecting one at a time. And I happen to know that there are 7. So I do a positive and negative of each number first. Negative 1, there we go. So what that has done now is one there, 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 and there. Should be one over there. Yeah, there he is. Okay. Now we can do 1 tab 1. Oops, nope. Do that again. 1 tab 1 tab, and now he's up and over 1. There you go. And now negative 1 tab, negative 1 tab. So now that should be the corners. And I can do 2 more, should be good. So now we're going to do negative 1 and 1 and 1 and negative 1. Now if I just click and drag here, I should have only 1. No. Okay, so let's do 2. And now I have only 1. Okay. There we go. So that's all set. The tops are all set. Now we need to do the same thing for the bottoms. 1, move the whole group. Oh, I'm sorry, the bottoms are down here. Negative 1. Negative 1, 1, 1, -1, -1, and we should have 2 left, yes. So I do 2, and then, oops, yeah, there you go. Okay, just one more set left. We got to do these. And the reason these have to be separate is because the coins on the top are going to be clean and coins on the bottom are going to be oxidized. So we want to leave room for that. All right, so 1, honestly forget what I just did. 1, -1, -1, -1, 1, 1, -1, -1, -1, and -1, and -1. Jeez, that's what I did. -1 and 1. There we go. Okay. Excellent. So that should be all set. And everything else has been properly expanded upon. So now, if we, there we go. Now if we select all of our bottom coins, let's make final short. That and that. And you, one down there. There we are. Selected all of those, and let's expand our selection. We should only see ones. You can see here the pattern. You can see that it's been copied out only to those sides, so that's perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, 7 coins. There we go. Now we can do the same thing over here. So if I select the other coins, the ones that I was playing with, let's make sure these are all correct on the tops. And select all the top coins, including this special coin here, which is a stack, but it's been modeled to look like a single coin. There's a coin behind the cup that I did not see. Okay, let's select all those, and we should only see the other ones, and we do. Excellent. It's one way out there, and way up there. Okay, but as long as they are working, then they're working, so that's great. Okay, so that's all set. Now let's take a look at our ID map. Oh, sorry, we need to bake out our textures again. Let's save that. Render UV template. I'm going to do a 4096. We're going to work really big and then shrink it down. Render. It's on the other screen. There it is. Save. Okay. Let's do a targa. And we're going to do UV's final. Yeah, I'm just going to rename that. Yep. Okay, perfect. And let's do a solids map. And do not show me the overlaps. Let's give it a second. There we go. Okay. Save, targa, solids, save. Yes. Okay. So now nothing really changed except that we added the coins, the bottom coins. So if we collapse this, we shouldn't have to do any more unwrapping. Shouldn't have to. So let's go ahead and open our okay. So now if we open test line map, test normals. So there's our UV finals and our solids finals. Let's open those. copy this into here. Put this on screen, call this UVs. This is my solids. Now the solids, I do want to make them a slightly darker color because it's a little hard to see this sometimes when you're zoomed in, you're looking for the edges of things. So I do want to make that a slightly different color. So let's select by color range, the backdrop. What's wrong with this? Select the backdrop, thank you. Inverse that, and let's make it just a little bit darker, something like this. So just a little bit easier to see. There we go. So just a little bit easier to see the when we put the UVs over top of it. There we go, see? So we know where the edges of things are. Now, I believe, if I scroll through here a little bit, I believe that test light map, I started to work on, there it is. My map's already sort of set up, there we go. Alright, so this, all we have to do for this is actually bring our new UVs in, so copy that. Delete the old one. There we go. So you can see here where our new UVs are at for our new coins. So we just have to take that into account. So let's go into our metals, gold, and coins new. Those are okay. Coins old. Yeah, the coins old or nothing. There we go. Oh, that was gold. That's right. Okay. The coins old has not yet been touched, which is perfect. So we need a color that we haven't used yet, which I can remember from the other night doing this. I was somewhere in this range. Should be okay for. Should be untouched. So coins old. We just want to make sure that we bring our brush out and oh, see, we did move the those guys a little bit too, so need to be aware of that. I wish I could make this 200, 250. Can I make this like 225? Right. Let's do 235. There we go. Perfect. Now let's find our other coin, which is down here. There it is. Boom. And we need the edges of this thing. Okay. Brush that in. I hope that's not too close in color to this other one. 255, 201, 242. Yeah, okay, it's different. Okay, good. So now that's the color we're going to use to denote our old coins, top and bottom. Our new coins are there. This is gold new. Let's see if I select. Okay, this should be gold new if I combine this. Yeah, new gold. And this is old gold. And the reason for that is the new gold is stuff that's on top, and the old gold is what I'm calling for the bottom, where it's been oxidized and old. It's going to be really cool. Okay, that's looking good. Everything else, there are some parts that don't have an ID, but they're going to be pretty easy to select, so it won't be a problem. So let's go ahead and save this. We do need to move this down a little bit. Let's go to our solids map and just do a little bit of editing. I just want this to line up so that we know for sure that it's correct. There we go. That'll do. Okay. Looks good. Let's save it and jump over to Max and let's apply it so we can actually see what we're looking at. Alright, so everything should have its own color now, which is going to be very useful for when we select things in order to paint them. So you notice all of our new coins have this color, and all of our old coins have the other color. So that is absolutely correct. That's what we want. Now we're going to be doing two main processes here. Is one, we're going to be creating some details inside of Endu, and then some Dedo and Endu, and then some processes inside of Substance Painter. So that's the idea. We're going to mess around and see what we can do here. So let's go ahead and start with that, and I'm going to select this and do an export. Export selected. I'll put it in the same folder. OBJ. So Chest of Wonders, which cow paint one. There we go. We don't want to export materials. It's not necessary. There we go. Very good. And let's save out a copy of our maps here as a PNG. Cal ID. There we go. Okay. Come on. There we go. And let's launch Painter. Now we're going to do Painter and Designer. In Designer, we'll create some materials that we can bring into Painter and use those. So here we are. 4096, select our mesh. Desktop, cow, paint, and I'm going to add the ID map. There it is. That's our only input at the moment. I'm going to say OK. And here we have our model in the scene, which is very nice. And we can rotate all the way around, which is really nice. We can move the light around. And I think I'm going to turn off the background, just so we don't have to look at it right now. Alright, so that's looking really good. Let's go ahead and start throwing some materials down, shall we? So I'm going to try and move the light to the bottom a little bit, because I want to see the bottom. That's a little difficult, but because my model is an upside down model. So let's go over here and we'll remove our paint layer. Let's start adding some bottom. So let's call this bottom. And within that, I'm going to create another folder. I'll call this sand. And within there, I want to add a fill layer. I'll call this sand base. Okay. And for this guy, I am going to add a mask with color selection. We need to hook up our ID mask. There we go. Pick this color. Okay. So to start with, I'm just going to pick, you can see we can pick any color we want. So pick a color for now for the bottom. And let's see what we have down here. Are there any pre-built materials which are like sand that we can use? I'm betting that there's not. So we're going to have to create one, which is fine. That's what we do. The gravel, that could work. The bottom of the ocean is sand, so I don't think many people have done that sort of thing. Stitches, yeah. Not many people have done that kind of thing. Okay, here's one of my materials. So let's take a look at that gravel just as a temporary stopgap measure. Look at that. Let's give it a second. There we go. That's okay, but it's very, very large. Let's scale that up a little bit. Well, it's getting better. Getting better. I think I'm going to want to blend this though with some other effects. We don't want necessarily just that. It does not look very ocean floor like yet. So. Okay, let's see what we have over here. Well, we can always add some things, or we can go pop over to designer and design and material, and then bring it over. I think that's probably a better idea. I think that's going to be pretty neat. So let's do that. Excuse me. Activate using my account. Let me move this over here. I have the continuous edition thing, so every month it resets, so that's all. There we go, finish. All right. New substance. Metallic roughness. Now we want specular gloss because, pardon me, what we're going to be creating is sand, like a sandy ocean floor kind of thing. So we don't necessarily want it to be metal, because there's no real metal on the ocean floor, correct? So if we bring up some reference images, I'll take a look at what we got. Okay. Let's do a print screen of that. And what I'm going to do is bring this up in Photoshop so that we can source some colors. There we go. And I'll just take a chunk out of this. Okay. Paste. Okay, so we're going to create something kind of like this for our ocean floor. And the reason I have this is so I can source some colors to use out of this. So let's create a new layer. And what I like to do is after I've selected a color, I'm just going to go ahead and put a blob of it up in the corner. And that way I know, oh, that's one of the colors that I wanted to use. So we'll take that, let's get a darkest color somewhere in there. Okay, perfect. Those two, and we'll do a extreme background of this. Okay, looking good. Let's figure out what that is. 9680/160. Now the problem with paint, I thought maybe I'm wrong. Let's go over here. So if I say add a uniform color. Oh no, I can't put it. Okay. 9680/61. Is that it? What was it again? 9680/160. 9680/160. So this is our background color. And let's get a couple more in here. 2 and 3. So we have 4 in total. So let's just create our colors real quick. So this is 126, 110, 85. There we go. In use there. 171, 155, 132. Okay, and finally, a little bit of a highlight color. Looks like 250, 240, 230. There you go, very bright. All right, so now we have our colors. So we just need to figure out how to duplicate this pattern. And it looks like it's just a layer buildup. So what we're gonna do is a background of this, and then a layer buildup between these two and between these two, okay? So let's go here, so between these two, and this is our background. All right. So I'm gonna duplicate this, pardon me. I'm gonna duplicate this, and I'm just gonna make him really? Okay, yes. I'm gonna make him a little bit darker. So let's go here. Make you a little bit darker so that you can be my background. All right. And now we're gonna blend, and let's start looking for our generators. Black and white spots 3. Sounds good. Between you and you, we're gonna get you. So now this is what we have for our background so far. It's just sort of a general noise kind of thing, and what I think I want to do actually is I want a blur. So I can blur them just a little bit, because I don't like all those little tiny spots on there. There we go. So general background. That looks pretty good. Let's do that, and you from you. Try and keep them a little bit organized. Now, so we start to build up this sort of shells, not quite shells, what I'm thinking. It's like clay and flat patterns. So we're going to try and create that. So let's look for something that we can use to create that. Effect. That's pretty good. Maybe something closer to this. Yeah, let's mess with what we got. Let's see what we got. We'll come up with something pretty cool. That, I like that. Okay, I like that better than you actually. All right. So what we want is we're going to use this to affect this, and blend it with this, and we'll see how this works out. So let's blend. What happens if I just blend the two of you together? What do I get? Nothing. No, not quite what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a not quite a warp. There you go. That's what I was thinking. I want to warp the now yes. I want to warp the output of this blend. So what I'm going to do here is move these guys, move you. There we go. There we go. So I can adjust. See, we can start to lose some of the very sharp lines, and I can start to kind of creep in with some more natural looking breakup of this. And this I can still randomly see. So if I go here and say, give me something different, something different, something different. See, I can start to kind of lose the exacting definition from these that we don't necessarily want. And, oh yeah, we can still go up here. No, not you, but you with the, there we go. Oh, I knew I was on the right track. Okay, so that's a lot better. I like that. And what we're going to do here with this is, remember, we're trying to create this, so we need a lot smaller scale. Let's see if we can really pull back that the distance thing. Where was our distance at? Which distance really made a difference? Intensity. Now we want the intensity a little bit lower, somewhere in that range. Perfect. And one of these distances really gave us a lot of bang for our buck. Let's see. Was that it, or was it this guy? This guy gave us a lot of distance. There we go. Something more like that. Perfect. Now we're starting to get a nice effect going. Okay, so let's take all of this and move this over here. This is going to be sort of the beginning of our pattern here, so we need the same kind of thing, but we want a slightly different one, slightly larger breakups. So let's take a look at what we have available to us. Now, thought about this. Let's see what we can use this for. I'm going to copy all of this, and instead of you, what happens if I plug you in? Not much, to be honest. Ah, I see. It's only taking the black areas for this. So this is interesting, but this might be more useful for later in the chain. For now, we need something that's got a lot more light and dark area to it. So you see how these are a little bit different, each one. So that's really good. Let's see if we can get so we get a blending of these two. So we need a copy of you because we need, no, sorry. We need a copy of you because we need you two together and you two together. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to do a blend and just real simply should do light to dark, so let's do light to dark. Welcome to anybody who's watching along. What we're doing here is we're creating a material to send over, hopefully, to Substance Painter so that we have a better backdrop. Because right now, here we are in Painter, and we're using a gravel texture for the bottom, and it's not quite right, so what we grabbed was an image of the ocean floor. We selected some colors, and now we're building up a ocean floor texture to use for the bottom. Okay, so that's pretty good there. Let's bring you over, and we want you to yes, there we are. So blend those together. Again, lightest to darkest. That should be a highlight color. There we are. There we go. Okay, this is our backdrop back down here. Now these two should be pretty good. I wonder, now that we blend these together, if I use this. Oops, I don't want to move you, I want to connect you. Not really feeling it. This is the lightest, so let's actually just inverse those. There we go. That's not too bad, but we do need a lot more. Do need a lot more on there. So the best way to do that really is to do a levels chain. So what we're going to do here is throw levels in there, throw this in there like that. Oops. So now here's our final blend, and I can affect it in two ways. The first way would be to figure out why this is not liking this. This is a grayscale. Okay, there we go. So now for the levels here, I can affect the final blend by moving these things back and forth. So we can really kind of clamp this down and start to get a change going on there. take a look here. I'm going to interrupt the chain one last time with another blur. So now I have some control over exactly how much it gets blended. And that's okay, but I'm really not loving it at all. So, let's take a look. Yeah, now we need a lot more oomph to it. Let's see what we can do. Let's bring these guys back. These are decent, and this is okay, but bring these guys back. Oh, we haven't put these over top of the background yet either, so let's see if that helps at all. Let's blend you to you with there we go. That's a little bit better. Maybe with you. No. The nice part is you can just experiment, you know. I could just choose any of these throughout the chain. Like this actually might be a decent one. Let's try it out. Or I could be completely wrong. Let's try it out. That's pretty good. That's a little closer. So that's getting us a little bit closer to where we want to be. So, still not, I think the whole thing is a little too dark. Let's see what we can do about that. Can we throw you into levels and just, yeah. Okay, not as dark now. Still we need more cavities and crevices, so let's see what we can do about that. So one of these, we're going to need to create some cavities and crevices, so what we need to do is push the levels on one of these guys to really create that and then separate that. So, okay, I think I know how we can do that. I'm going to throw this guy into a transform 2D. And we're going to apologize for the people trying to mow all of a sudden. So do I want times 2? No, I do not. By half. There we go. And by half again. Yes. Okay. Let's throw this into a levels. And now we're going to punch it. Create some pretty harsh cavities in here. So let's clamp it. Something like that. And what we want is, what would be great is to have this on top of something like this as a background, but a little bit darker, but using this pattern. So I think what we're going to do here is, let me think for a second. Yeah, this is pretty nice, but I want a darker version of this as a background. So let's throw a blend over here and we'll just start tossing it into here. So that's going to be my background. There we go, that's going to be my top. That's going to be that. There we go. That's looking a lot nicer. A lot nicer. Let's interrupt this. Put a blur for one thing, so we can control this. See if we, it's actually just a little bit, There we go. All right. that's looking a lot better. That looks a lot more, you know, uniform and nicely. Oh gosh, yeah, go away. That looks a lot more uniform and a lot more like this than our current setup does. It looks good. It looks like what we want. It's not. But we might blend these two together because we do want some tiny little stones and things, or maybe even something more along the magnitude of this. So that's not too bad. So we'll keep that for now, and then we're going to blend that with this material that we're creating. So let's see, what else can we do here? We do need some tiny flecks and things still. So let's work on our tiny flecks. Okay, so for that we are going to do this chain here. Sorry, I'm trying to mute the microphone there while the guy is coming by, so you guys don't get harassed with that. Okay, so I've got a lighter color here of the one that we were using before, so I'm going to lighten that up quite a bit. There we go. And I'm going to blend over top of our current thing with this. So let's do a blend here. So this is going to be our background. This is going to be our foreground. And it's going to be combined by this. So we come into there, we can take a look at what we got. Now we can mess with this color. So we really want these really light chips. There we go. But this guy, we need to work on this. It's not quite what we were looking for yet. That's pretty good. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We'll just do a little bit of light smattering, something like that. I think that's looking pretty close. Still missing. Normal map will help a lot, but we're gonna blend this with this, so we can just bring him over and start blending and see how it looks. I'm gonna lower this just a little bit because it seems just a little intense. Just a little intense. There we go, yeah. That's a lot better. Okay. So that's pretty good. This is going to be a pretty simple material here. I'm just going to mess with it over here. Let's take a look. It's way too shiny at the moment. Throw it into a normal. So plug it into the normal map. Let's turn off that. Pretty rough. Yeah, there we go. somewhere in that range. That looks good. So we have our material there. That's pretty good. For our specular, and what I like to do here is blend these with a color. So let's do a blend. Oops, sorry. Blend that. Get you that. So now this color I can affect how much. Yeah, it's not liking that for some reason. We want to bring our color in. There we are. Now we're getting something. We want to be able to affect how much. Come on, your color. There you go. Specular. View in 3D. Yes, specular level. There we are. So as I affect this, I should be able to affect the specularity. Alright, it's having issues, so what I'm going to do here is instead, we're going to set it to a grayscale conversion. So I'll make it a grayscale image. And now, push it through a levels, and into the end. And now we can affect it by affecting this. A lot more control over the depth and the crevices this way. There we go. And I do think I still want to blend it. Just a moment. Uniform color. Blend. There we go. Aha, there we go. There we are. Quite the process sometimes. We'll get there though. Okay, it's way too shiny. Alright, I'm getting annoyed. Let's just let's prove my point that we can just throw colors in here. Is the 3D view actually updating or not? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, so it's not metal at all, because it's not. And what we're going to do is just give it a little bit of, just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so I'm checking to make sure, and it looks pretty good. Probably need to add a little bit of some micro detail to it eventually, but should be alright for now. Go ahead and save this as ocean floor. Now if we jump over to Painter, we should be able to import a material. Let's see, import substance. Apologies. I have to actually publish it. There we go. Now we come over here and say import substance, ocean floor. Okay, we'll give that a moment. Let's test that. So if we put a new fill layer, and I want to there it is. Is that my new substance? Ocean floor. And we do need to mask it again. There we go. Ooh, very nice. Now, that we have both of these on here, let's go ahead and bring the sand base above it, and we can blend this. So let's try and blend this. Add a white mask. Ah, I see. I see. I want to affect the mask. Okay, that's pretty neat. We can do some custom painting here. So now as I paint, I should be able to paint onto the mask. Oh, I thought I could paint the mask. It'd be nice to be able to paint the mask and reveal or hide. I thought that was part of the deal. Can I not paint? Well, that is disappointing. I want to edit the mask. Huh. Well, that's disappointing. Oh, am I painting black? Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's interesting. So yes, you can sort of paint what you want. Oh, I see. Are we locked onto this? I think we are kind of locked onto it. Oh, there we go. So I can sort of paint wherever. But that's painting right over top of everything instead of on just the UV shells, which is odd. I don't think that should happen. But anyway. Alright, let's just do this. the best with that, so I think I don't even really want it. Okay, we're getting there. Let's add a fill layer on top of that. And what I'm going to do here is we're going to mask it again, and hopefully this will be like a correcting layer. I'll choose a color. Make it a little bit lighter. Okay, that's pretty good for now. I like that. Let's go ahead and work on some of the wood, some of the more interesting parts of the wood. So, like the top here. Come back to that part of the texture. Whoa. Okay. We'll skip around a little bit, keep you guys interested. And okay, we'll create a new folder. Let's call this folder the top. We'll start working on some stuff from the top, shall we? All right. Wood, obviously, and this desk. This is just like the desk of a pirate. Cool. The desk goes in there. And let's add fill. Pirate desk base. Throw that in there. And let's go ahead and mask it. Pick color. So now I can paint directly on this, and we'll get the just the pirate desk. See, I can make it any color I want, which is pretty cool. But I do want that to be wood. Let's see, are there any woods in here? Some wood planks. Wood American. Let's try that. See what we think of that. It's a little grainy with the light. A decent start though. Definitely a decent start. Move the light around a little bit. I'm not happy to be so harsh on it. It's very decent. Okay. It's a pretty good desk. Let me see if I can 2 by 2 by 4 now. That's better. Ah, I see. Whoa. There we go. All right. Hey, that looks great. Didn't have to do much for that, did we? We have basically have a wood desk. Let's see, just out of curiosity, I'll duplicate this layer, hide the original, because I want to see what these other options would be like. So that's for more like a wood plank. You would need to move that around, scale that around quite a bit. Okay, wood painted looks like what? Let's wait for it. Wait for it. Aha. That's probably going to be really good for the bottom chest. We'll work over top of that. And wood planks again. But again, if we can alter this, we can probably come up with something pretty nice. So we do 3 by 6, and then we can offset it a little bit. Almost. Does tend to repeat. We might be able to use that though. But I do think the other one is nicer. Like a cherry wood, like a desk would be. Let's see, yeah, the painted planks. Oh, we do have some options. Options are fantastic. It makes doing this sort of work incredibly easy. Let's go to our actual one that we like. Fibers, we want lots of fibers. Okay. Zoom in to see some of these changes. Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll leave it there. And the knots. Fairly knotted is fine. Now, oh, random seed. Perfect. Okay, that's looking really nice. Really nice top. I like that a lot. I like the singleton little knot over here, which is amazing. Okay, so that's pretty good for that. I do want to change the color slightly. So let's pull up our reference images. Let's find our desk. It's hard to see the actual wooden desk in there. Okay, well, we'll eyeball it a little bit. Take our wood color and just darken it a little bit. Something more like that. Help everything else stand out just a little bit better. Okay, that looks really cool. Now, what we need to do, I think we have some gold, some copper. Do we have any sort of I'm looking for like an iron. Maybe it's have to be a generic metal that we then edit quite a bit. Yeah, I think it has to be a metal that we just edit quite a bit. Let's go for the gold next. Go for the gold, literally. Gold. And specifically I'm going to call this gold new. Alright, let's save our progress. Okay. So for our gold new, let's go ahead and add a fill layer. Mask it. the old ID, and let's pick the new gold, which is this cup. Now, and our gold, and drag that onto there. Okay, so it's a little crazy at the moment. We're gonna rein it in. Because it's way too shiny and new. Way too shiny and new. But let's just make sure that we don't see any of that on the bottom. No, we don't see any of that on the bottom, so that's good. Okay. So we'll use the cup as an example. Rough it up a little bit. I want you to be able to know it's gold. Should be good. There. Okay. Let's add a generator to this. Dirt. Yeah, so we can add edge wear. Not quite seeing it. Maybe a generalized dirt would be better. Let's go ahead and nix that. Add generator. And we'll add dirt. Not seeing the effect at all, which is very strange. You'd think we would see the effect. Try and zoom in on various bits that I know are being affected. There we go. So got a lot of dirt, but I'm not seeing any amount of it. That's very strange. Not sure why it's not gold. Okay, well maybe we can add something different. Let's go ahead and add a fill layer above this. And I think if we put this underneath of the gold. No, sorry. Above, but on the actual layer will mask that gold. There we go. There we are. They're starting to get some effect. Let's just get all the materials put down for now, I guess. Okay, so we got first pass of gold. We're going to need gold for the bottom as well that is going to be ruined, but just check out our metal options. So under wood, gold new. Okay. Create a new folder. Metal. Specifically, we're going to create iron. There we are. And let's get our metal, and we'll alter it as we see fit. Come on, there we are. There we are. Okay, I was wondering why it wasn't showing up. Okay, so it's showing up now. Let's reduce the scratches. Okay, there we are. Getting a little bit better. I think it needs to go a little darker still. Something more like that. Let's give it a second to catch up. There we are. Now we're making some headway. Oh, you need to move over a little bit, don't you? Can't zoom out. There we go, okay. I also painted this top here rather nicely all at once. It's looking pretty good. Okay. Let's add some dirt to it. Give it a second to catch up. Add a bunch more. There we go. And let's save, just to be sure. Okay, let's take a look at this. Base material is pretty good so far. Okay. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to, oh, some stuff got gold in there. What should got to fix that. Okay, oh, let's get a copper going for this guy. Yes, let's get some copper. Okay. I'm gonna rename this to metal iron. And let's make a metals group. Metals. Here we go. So metal iron can go in there. Gold new can go in there. Okay. dull layer. I know I saw copper in here. Or was it brass? Brass, I think is what I wanted. Sorry. I called it copper, but I think what I wanted is brass. There we go. You still need some aging though. You should not be brand spanking new. Oh, oxidation is a thing. Wow. Excellent. Let's take a look at what we can do here. So what I'm gonna do here is, ooh, way too much. Way too much. Let that catch up. Okay. Get down to maybe 0.4. A little bit more. 0.2 is probably fine. I do want it to be shiny. It should be, you know, should still be shiny, but it should not be mirrored surface shiny. There we go. That's not bad at all. And let's take a look at maybe adding a bit more dirt. And definitely upping the number of scratches. This thing would be used on the daily, so it should be very kind of scratched up and dinged around. And there we are. Let me send a quick message. Send a quick message. Pardon me. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I do think that... No, I'll leave it be. Okay. So that guy's all set. I will put down a base material for the... for the map here as well. So I think that will be important. And some of these things we're going to select by hand. So okay, there's a response. No, that was not a response. Okay. All right. Pardon me. Moving on. Oh, we do need our glass as well. So let's put our glass in here. So that is here on the texture sheet. If I remember all my controls, there you go. 4 different pieces of software, and each one is slightly different. So that's glass, so that's not a metal. Let's add a folder for glass. And we can add, go. Fill glass under there. I don't think there's any sort of glass material. Yeah, glass is something that's very difficult to make into a material. What is that? Uniform white what? Oh, uniform white glossy. I see. Not too bad. Should I start with like a plastic? We can make this look like old glass. Yeah. Of course, the color needs to change. That's easy to do. Make it. And what I'll do is we'll add a glow and we'll overlay that glow. So for now we're just worried about like the surface of the glass. let's work on that. A little bit of dirt. See how that comes in. Can't really tell. Ah, there we go. Now it's starting to come in. I don't like that slice that got cut through it though. Where did that come from? Was that the dirt? Maybe we can offset that. Yeah, there we go. Get rid of it by offsetting. Oops. There we go. Oh, no. It's back again. Come on. No. That's not too bad. Yeah, a little bit of dirt. Never hurt anybody. Okay. Now, plastic green roughness. Do we want it to be very rough? A little bit less. That's not bad. And, oh, surface imperfections. Maybe that's what I was looking for more of. Oh, that's pretty neat. Yeah, crank that up. I like that a lot. Oh, not quite that high though. I just want it to look like the glass has kind of settled a little bit over time. So, okay, that's pretty good. And like I said, we'll come back and we will add the glow in there as well. So the glow will come a little bit later. So now, let's just block out the rest of our material here. I did see there is a paper, so maybe we'll do that next. So top paper. Before I do that, let me make sure I can see it on the texture sheet. There it is. Paper, mask with color selection, choose U, fill, base paper. Because we're going to hand paint some of this stuff because obviously we need to. So there's paper. Yeah, okay, there we go, yep. That's not too bad for our purposes. I like it. Can we offset the UVs a little bit so we don't have nasty stains on it for no good reason? We do want some stains, but you know, we want the designer stains. Ooh, age to the paper. Let's check that out. Should be pretty well aged. It's an old map, right? See how that looks. Honestly, I didn't really see much. Let's really age it and see what happens. Oh, it's just adding wear stains. Okay, that's pretty good for now. I love that light. Okay. That's looking pretty good so far for the top. We are going to have to do gold for the coins and the wood for the chest though. Is that zooming the whole time? There we go. Zoom out. I thought I could. Yeah, I can. Okay. Alright. So let's say we can. Sure we're doing that often. So up here, let's do wood. Chest. We have two different chests for the wood, so we need to make sure we have one is the sideways, the other is the other sideways. So let's go ahead and add a mask. Good color for the chest. It should be U, first one. I should go duplicate this, yes. Chest 2. Might have to, yeah, redo the mask, obviously, because we need a different, pick color, U. There we go. But now I should be able to apply the same wood to each without much trouble. Let's add a fill. Find that wood. Okay. Let's see which one we want to go with. Wood plank. Doesn't look too bad. I kind of like it. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Okay. We'll go with that for now. So that is for chest 1, and we're gonna duplicate that and drag it under chest 2. Did that work the way I intended? Yes. Ah, but it is sideways. Well, for this one, we can offset. Should get rid of some of the, yeah, okay, I didn't like all the knots right there necessarily, but the rest of it looked really good. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Okay, now, most of this we can duplicate for the bottom, then we just have to add a whole bunch of aging to it. So that's going to be really cool. So let's paper shape up. There you go. Okay, so let's take chest 1 and 2. And I'm going to copy them. Copy layers. Let's go to the bottom, expand that. And let's make a wood folder for the bottom. And paste. Chest 1 and chest 2. But now we need to reassign the masking for this. So chest 1, I'm going to clear the map or just redo it. Chest 1 is this. There we go. And it looks like it needs some offsetting a little bit. I need to make sure I offset it so that it matches the top. That's going to be an important part. Okay, and you are that. The same is true for both. Let's take a look at the top, and there's a clue we can follow. There's a nail or something right there. So we follow that, and that one is that guy. Let's go to chest 1. Offset the UVs. Oh, almost. Yeah, that looks really close. Just off of that. Just off of that way. Okay. Yes. But what is that black bar thing there? I think that is. Okay, oh, we moved up there. Okay. Nope, you don't want that. A little bit of trial and error here to make sure that I'm trying to move these nails away from society. I want them to be invisible as much as possible. I'm just trying some numbers. See what's working, what's not working. Okay, so it's just repeating, so we just need to find the best. So I think that's probably the best, somewhere in that range. 0.86, 0.8. Okay, I think that's the best one, 0.88. So for that, what we end up with is, no. Possible solution is like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is move this over. Come on. If I can see both at the same time would be really helpful. I'm going to try and match up the two. So go to the top one. Just offsetting. Okay, there we go. I think that's pretty close. Maybe I went one too far. No, I think that's pretty close. Yeah. So now they're trying to get them to be even so that they will look identical from one top to the bottom one, you know. Okay. Pretty good. Now it's the side pieces we got to do the same thing for, because they look terrible. These terrible seams in there. I got a nail in the front of my the front of it, so let's go ahead and fix those. So for chest 2, that's our this is our front. Oh, that's those pieces. Sorry. Oh no, so is chest 1. Okay, well, so we got some more fixing to do. Maybe we have to offset it in the other direction. So let's work on that. So move that a little bit. Move that. Almost. Might be able to get to a point where it looks decent. Just have to move it just a little bit more. Okay, let's see. No, because this is the front, so the front looks terrible. Okay, so let's offset it some more. Trying to find a decent middle ground. That's not so bad because that's the back, so you won't really see it, but we do have a seam right down the middle there, so no. Could try to make it just a little bit bigger and those seams not be as visible. Oops. Nope, back one more. Okay, there we go. That's a good, no. Still getting there on the edge. Okay, whoa. Did not tell you to do that, but that kind of worked. Oh, jeez. See, we can't leave it there because that's the inside. So we do need to kind of move the seam quite a bit. And just hope that it plays along. Although this UV scale, we could scale it in this direction a little bit to try and get rid of that, because this is an easier thing to scale than this. Yeah, let's try that a little bit. Okay. Do 5 on these. See what happens. Come on. What do you got for me? Let's see what we can get here. It's fighting this to keep up with me, so just a moment. Get rid of them all together. See, persistence pays off. Let's do the same thing to our bottom chest one. Oh, no. 2 and 4. Okay. Got a message. Let's check out our messages. Oh, excellent. Welcome, people. We got a couple more followers, so welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are enjoying. Okay, I think that looks good. Now we have both sides pretty well painted. Just have to add our gold and then start weathering the bottom, and got a lot more to do, but we're getting there quickly. All right. Let's do a save. Okay. Now, let's duplicate our gold to the bottom as well. Okay. So at the top we have it in a metals folder. Oops, sorry, gold. So I'm going to copy this, go down to the bottom, create a metals folder down here. Put that under here. And paste. Oh, I see. We'll just call this, it's old gold. Our old gold color, which I believe is, yeah, U. And same mask. There you go. So right now the old gold is the same as the new gold, but we will be adding a bunch of weathering to that. Let's see if we can start to do some of that. So to make our gold old, how can we go about doing that? So this is uniform gold. Is there a gold? Ah, there we go, metal gold. There we go. Let's up the rust quite a bit. There we go, look at that. Look at that. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That gold looked like crap. It's been underwater rather, forever. Oh, that's awesome. I like it. Let's pull back a little bit on the rust. Let's do a lot on the dirt. See how that's looking. That's okay. Move our light a little bit so we can see this better. Looking okay. Right, get out of my way, Skype. Up the surface imperfections, definitely. Up the scale of the dirt. And let's lower the roughness. We really want it to be kind of dull because it's been underwater. It's just been ruined by time. That's looking a lot nicer. Okay. Let's pump the dirt, see what happens. I'm wondering, I don't think it's making much of an impact, so we really need to kind of work that out some other way. It's making a little bit of an impact. Stop. Okay. Here's my reflectivity test. Let's see what we got going on here. That's better. Should still be a little shiny, but it's really been kind of muted by time. Okay. And up the dirt contrast a little bit. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay. Alright, so now we have gold and old gold. I do think I want to use the same gold up here, but just really not as severe at all. So let's do that. Collapse the bottom. Gold new, metal gold.